Very briefly, I want to give you guys an example of not a full literary analysis because this by no means is an example of um, the length of the paper that I'm asking you to write, but I want to give you an example of what analysis rather than summary looks like with I'm sharing something with you guys that I wrote when I was in graduate school because you guys are sharing things with me that you've written. So I'll share something that I've written with you. It's by no means perfect, but it is an example of a literary analysis that focuses on something specific, and it also gives an example of integrating direct quotations um, as well. So I have decided not to give you an example of a literary analysis focusing on one of the three stories that you guys read for this semester, mainly because I don't want to unfairly influence you or influence you in a kind of way that I don't want to influence your writing too much because I'm interested in seeing your perspective, your analysis, and your point of view. So I know that I've shown you guys this same example in terms of the MLA format, the headings that you need to have in your upper left-hand corner and in your upper right-hand corner with a title. And then I have my introduction, and this is a really short paper, but it gives a good example of what a good thesis statement looks like, topic, sentences, and the like. You don't have to be familiar with Jane Eyre, which is like a 400-page novel, in order to get the gist. I don't think so. Basically, this is looking at one specific scene, like it's a 5-page scene in the novel, and it's looking at one specific literary element and how it impacts some sort of larger message that Bronte is trying to get through. So you guys can read through the introduction and read through most of the paper, but I want to draw your attention to the thesis statement. In Jane Eyre, Bronte dismantles class biases through the image of the magic lantern. Jane's ability to see beneath the pretentious Blanche Ingram and through the gypsy woman confirms the superiority of her perspective, suggesting that social distinctions are simply unfair misapprehensions. So I've got my topic, which is Jane Eyre. I've got my stance in that Bronte dismantles class biases. That's my stance. The literary element that I'm looking at, how she does that, is through the image of the magic lantern. That's what I'm analyzing. And then my so what, why it matters, is that she does all of this to suggest that social distinctions are unfair. Okay, so if you look through to my first body paragraph, I have my topic sentence, and my topic sentence is going to relate to my thesis statement in some way. And it's not plot related, so I'm not telling you something that happens in the novel. I'm giving you an analytical point that I'm going to expand upon. So my topic sentence in this case, excuse me, is the bizarre scene between Jane and the gypsy woman relies heavily on vision and observation. So in this paragraph, I'm going to be talking about a specific scene and that it relies heavily on vision and observation. Following my topic sentence, I have my textual evidence, my support, my examples from specific elements of the text that are integrated into my own words. Following my textual analysis, or following what my textual evidence and my analysis, I have my concluding sentence where I connect it back to my thesis statement or my so what. And my so what was that social distinctions are unfair and that Jane has this superior view of people. So although Jane rests beneath Blanche Ingram on the social ladder, members of superior rank notice the faults of her class. Her seat, Jane's seat, at the window allows her to look beyond class distinctions with an all-seeing eye. So that connects back to my thesis statement. If we look at my next body paragraph, I have another topic sentence that relates to my thesis statement in some way. Jane can also see through the illusion of the gypsy woman, this time as a participant. So here she's an observer, here she's a participant. And then I have my support or my textual evidence with my in-text citations that are integrated into my work. And then I have my analysis or my connection back to my thesis statement. During her interaction with Jane, the mysterious woman questions what she observes around her. Where Blanche Ingram and the other women noticed nothing besides the illusion of the woman's social status, Jane, alert for discoveries, sees through Rochester's disguise. Again, Jane's perception transcends social biases and uncovers the heart of the individual and the situation. So all of my body paragraphs connect back to that so what about social classes. And then I have my conclusion where I kind of tie it all together. Through the image of the magic lantern, Bronte blurs the boundaries of class and status. Jane's perception represents the limelight used in the magic lantern. It made images brighter and smoother. Jane illuminates the nature of false impressions. She not only sees beyond the pretty-faced Blanche Ingram to discover a spiteful woman who can hide only behind an esteemed lineage, she also detects a man of wealth beneath rags of disguise. Jane's superior perspective illustrates the absurdity of unfair class distinctions and illusion cast in a magic lantern. So here I have a very short, my assignment was to write a 2-page response on a specific part of the text, but it doesn't matter. But this is an example of what I mean by having a, let me go back up here, having a solid thesis statement where I have my topic, my stance, my literary element, and my so what, why it matters. And each of my body paragraphs is going to connect analytically back to that so what. So this is kind of an example of what I'm looking for in regards to developing those body paragraphs. So let me know if you have any questions. And then finally I have my works cited, which you guys have already seen an example of in my MLA format. But this is an example of how, or what I mean when I say topic sentence, pieces of evidence, and then your commentary. So I hope this kind of illuminates, no pun intended, what it is that I'm looking for. Please, again, if you have any questions, if you want me to help talk out some topics with you, help formulate a tentative thesis statement, let me know, and I'd be happy to before you write your drafts.